Now let's see what is a for loop. For loop is a loop that can be used to iterate over a sequence or an iterable. A sequence or an iterable is an object which can return one of its elements at a time. So the examples of the iterables are a sequence types like strings, list, tuples, set. It can also be a non-sequence types like dictionaries and files. We will be looking into each one of those as an example. Before we move on to the examples, let's see the syntax of the for loop. So the for loop syntax starts with the for keyword, then the iterable variable, in keyword, and the iterable or a sequence variable. So the loop variable is the variable which can store or which can have one item at a time from the iterable. This iterable could be one of the sequence types or non-sequence types that we have seen in the previous slide. The for loop heading ends with the colon, and from the next line onwards, indentation block starts, which indicates or which has the loop body. So the for loop will be executed if and only if there is at least one item in the iterable, otherwise it won't be. And once the item is there, the loop will start and the loop body will continue one after the other. Basically, it will continue till all the items in the iterable are processed. So let's see some of the examples. Let us first consider a string. Let's say name equal to Rahul. Now we are going to use a for loop to iterate over this string. So we are going to use for loop to iterate over this string. So for that, let's say for character in name print character. We will add an extra print statement just to indicate the loop processing has ended. Loop processing has ended. Now let's try to execute this program. Python string processing. Here we can see that each character of the string Rahul is printed on one separate line, and then our last print statement is printed. So let's review our example. When we give name as a string, that, as we know, the string itself is a sequence of characters. So we should be able to process one character at a time, which is what we try to do over here. So the character variable will get one character from that string at a time, and then it will go inside the for body, which prints that character. Then instead of moving on to the next line, it will again go back to the for heading, and it will check whether there is another character or the next character present in the string or not. If it is, it will read that character, go inside the for body, print it, and continue till all the characters are processed from the string. So let's add one tweak over here just to see whether this is what is really happening. So let's say I create an iteration variable which is initialized to 0. Let's add this iteration variable in a for body, and we are going to increment this iteration variable by 1, and then let's add that into our print statement. So here we are going to use an f string and include iteration and character in it. Now let's execute our program. Python string processing, and here we can see that the iteration 1 has R, iteration 2 has A, iteration 3 has H, iteration 4 has U, and iteration 5 has L. So every time we iterate through the loop, we read one character at a time from string.